How's it going, you guys? My name is Risk. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. So this video has been in my head for a long time. I have seen a couple of people do this, but they haven't really put it into depth that much. So I'm going to be doing my personal best tips on how to take free play or training in general into your advantage. So I do see a lot of YouTubers that have done this, do kind of a routine, which I really don't think is the best idea because you're only focusing on one thing specifically. I think you should get all the primary aspects and then put them into one thing at the end and just do that. Before I start actually playing competitive or casual, whatever I like to do, I always go into free play for about 20 to 30 minutes. You guys might think that's a long time. Maybe you guys can do 10 to 15, but I'm always in training before so I can just warm up. So let's get straight into tip number 1. Kickoffs is probably one of the most important aspects of this game. Kickoffs does take a lot of practice and a lot of time to master. I personally don't even have the best kickoff yet. They do help you get position once you start off the ball. If it's in 1v1s, you always want to get the better kickoff because that could most of the time actually lead to a goal. If it's in 2v2s or 3v3s, that will give your teammates most of the time the possession or could give you a straight goal. So before the game does start, I always like to go into free play and just practicing my kickoffs. Even though there is no opponent, I always like to try and know that I can get a good kickoff. So I will be linking a couple kickoff tutorials down in the description that I've personally seen and used into my own kickoff. So without further ado, let's get into rule number 2. Oh, that rhymed. So tip number 2 is keeping the ball on your head. This personal tip is probably my favorite one because it just helps you dribble overall. A lot of times in 2s, and not as much in 3s, but definitely in 2s and 1s, you're going to be dribbling a lot, and keeping the ball on your head does help a lot. It does help your ball control, and that's one of the most important aspects of this game. So make sure when you're training to definitely practice keeping the ball on your head, dribbling around the map in circles. If you can't do that well, just try to dribble the ball on your head as much as possible. And let's get straight to tip number 3. So tip number 3 is practicing your flicks. A lot of the time in games, flicks will become really handy, especially in 1s. Whenever somebody is coming straight to you with the ball and you're not sure what to do, you're not very good at 50-50s, definitely go for a flick and try to get it past your opponent. Flicks aren't always for getting it past your opponent, but for passing as well as shooting. There's a lot of good flickers right now that just do unbelievable 90-degree, even 180-degree flicks past their opponents to get it straight into the goal. So definitely make sure whenever you're practicing and training to flick around. Try to not even going for net, but if you have to, go for the net, but just practicing flicking it from one side to another. So this does take me to tip number 4, getting strong hits. Practicing getting strong hits from one side to the field to another is very helpful, because in the game, a lot of the times you will need to go for a strong clear, whether it's out to the side, to a corner, or straight to a teammate. So when you are in training, definitely make sure to practice clearing your ball. So tip number 5 is more of a complicated one, but it's definitely super important, but it's practicing using the backboard. Whether you're going for a ceiling shot, an air dribble, clearing the ball, or anything like that, knowing the backboard is super important. Once you're a beginner, you will probably not be able to do any of these types of things, but once you grow into the larger ranks, you will get better at it. So combining all these tips, I'm going to show you guys how I play free play. So if you guys did enjoy that tutorial and would like more tutorials, definitely make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and comment down below some other tutorial ideas. Thanks, guys.